Most people think their biggest enemy is failure, bad luck, or toxic people. But the truth is far more dangerous. Your biggest enemy is the mind you never learned to control, and the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're slaves to it. Every morning they wake up with plans, with goals, with motivation. But a few hours later, their own mind destroys everything. They get distracted, they overthink, they compare themselves to others, they start doubting themselves, and slowly, they become weak without even noticing it. That's why one person can change their entire life in a year, while another stays stuck for 10 years with the same excuses. The difference is not talent, the difference is mental control. And Marcus Aurelius understood this better than almost anyone. That he was surrounded by war, betrayal, pressure, and chaos. Yet he said something powerful: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Think about that for a second, that if your emotions can be controlled by every insult, every rejection, every opinion, then your life is not yours anymore. People today lose themselves too easily. One bad comment ruins their confidence. One rejection destroys their self-worth. One difficult moment makes them quit, and social media made it even worse. Now your mind is attacked every second, not with knives, not with weapons, but with distractions. Every scroll weakens your focus, every comparison kills your peace, every fake lifestyle makes you feel behind, and slowly, your mind becomes noisy. You can't sit quietly, you can't focus, you can't stay disciplined. You want success, but your own brain keeps pulling you toward comfort. That is exactly why most people never become dangerous, not because they are weak physically, because mentally they cannot control themselves. They react emotionally to everything. Somebody ignores them, they panic, somebody insults them, they explode, somebody succeeds, they become jealous, somebody leaves them, they break apart, and then they ask why life feels painful. But Marcus Aurelius believed pain is not created by events alone. It is created by your interpretation of them. Point 2. People can face the exact same situation. Point 1 becomes stronger, the other becomes broken. So what changed the situation? Know the mind. That if your mind is weak, even small problems feel unbearable, but if your mind becomes disciplined, even chaos cannot destroy you. And this is why mastering your mind changes everything, because once you control your thoughts, people lose the ability to control your emotions. Once you control your attention, distractions stop owning your future. Once you control your reactions, you become calm while everyone else is losing themselves. And calm people are dangerous, not loud people, not emotional people, calm people, because calmness means control, and control is power. But here's the scary truth. Most people are addicted to mental weakness. They enjoy comfort too much, they wait for motivation, they only work when they feel like it. They escape difficult conversations, they avoid silence because silence forces them to face themselves, and this creates a prison invisible from the outside. You may look normal, but internally your mind becomes chaotic. You want discipline, but your habits control you. You want peace, but your emotions control you. You want confidence, but other people's opinions control you. That is not freedom. Real freedom begins when your mind obeys you instead of controlling you, and this is where everything starts to change. Because the moment you realize your mind can be trained, your entire reality changes. Most people treat their mind like weather, sometimes motivated, sometimes lazy, sometimes confident, sometimes broken, and they think this is normal. But Marcus Aurelius never believed in becoming a servant to emotions. That he believed discipline mattered more than feelings, and that idea alone separates powerful people from average people. Average people wait for the perfect mood, powerful people act even when they don't feel like it. That's why some people transform while others keep restarting their lives every Monday. They depend on motivation instead of identity. They say, I want to become disciplined. But their actions say, I only move when it feels easy. And your brain notices that every time you quit early, your brain learns weakness. Every time you avoid discomfort, your brain becomes softer. Every time you choose distraction over focus, your self-control dies a little more. This is how mental weakness grows, not suddenly, slowly, daily, invisibly, and one day you wake up realizing you can't focus for 5 minutes without touching your phone. You can't stay consistent with goals. You can't sit alone with your thoughts. You want peace, but your own mind feels like noise. That's dangerous. because a distracted mind is easy to control. That's exactly why modern life rewards weak attention. Every app wants your focus, every notification wants your reaction, every platform wants your emotions. They profit when your mind stays restless, and most people never fight back. They become addicted to stimulation. They fear boredom, they fear silence, they fear being alone with themselves. But silence is where mental strength is built. Marcus Aurelius spent time observing his own thoughts that he understood something most people ignore. Your thoughts shape your reality. That if your thoughts are weak, your life becomes weak. That if your thoughts are chaotic, your life becomes chaotic. And if your thoughts become disciplined, your entire presence change. You stop chasing approval, you stop reacting emotionally to everything, you stop explaining yourself to people who never cared, and suddenly, people feel something different about you, not because you became louder, but because you became harder to shake. That there's a reason calm people command respect. When everyone panics, and one person remains composed, that person automatically becomes powerful. Because emotional control is rare, most people lose themselves instantly in anger, fear, jealousy, or insecurity. But mental mastery means feeling emotions without becoming controlled by them. That doesn't mean becoming emotionless. That it means becoming stable. There's a huge difference. A weak mind reacts immediately. A strong mind pauses. A weak mind seeks revenge. A strong mind seeks control. A weak mind needs attention. A strong mind needs purpose, and purpose changes everything. When your life has purpose, small distractions lose power. You stop caring about proving yourself to random people. You stop wasting energy chasing validation. You start protecting your attention because you finally understand attention is life. Where your attention goes, your future follows. And this is why mastering your mind is not just about productivity. It's about survival. Because if you cannot control your focus, someone else always will. If you cannot control your emotions, people will manipulate them. If you cannot control your habits, your future will be built by impulse instead of intention. And that's exactly how people waste years without realizing it. They keep saying, one day I'll change. But one day becomes 1 year. 1 year becomes 5. And slowly regret starts eating them alive, not because they failed, but because deep down, they know they never truly controlled themselves. And the painful truth is this: the hardest battle in life is not against the world. It is against the version of yourself that wants comfort over growth. And that version of you will fight every single day. It will tell you to sleep longer. It will tell you to quit early. It will tell you to avoid pain. It will tell you to stay distracted. It will whisper comfortable lies while your potential slowly disappears. And the dangerous part is, those lies feel safe in the moment. That's why so many people destroy their future with small daily decisions. They think success is ruined by one big mistake, but most lives collapse quietly. Late nights wasted scrolling, hours wasted comparing themselves to others, constant overthinking, constant emotional reactions, constant excuses, and after years of repeating the same habits, they wonder why nothing changes. But Marcus Aurelius understood something timeless: the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Not money, not status, not attention, your thoughts, because your thoughts create your actions create your habits, and your habits create your identity. So if your mind stays weak, your life will continue repeating the same cycle. That's why mental discipline is everything, and real discipline is not forcing yourself once. Real discipline is becoming the kind of person who keeps moving even when emotions disappear. Because motivation is temporary. Anyone can feel motivated after watching a video, after hearing a speech, after feeling inspired, but very few people can stay consistent when nobody is watching. That is where true power is built. In silence. In loneliness. In repetition. When you continue improving without applause, your mind becomes unbreakable, and once that happens, everything changes. You stop seeking revenge because peace matters more. You stop begging for attention because self-respect becomes enough. You stop reacting to every opinion because you finally understand most people are projecting their own insecurities. You become calmer, you become sharper, you become harder to manipulate, and people start noticing it, not because you changed your clothes, not because you became louder, but because your energy changed. You no longer chase, you no longer panic, you no longer need constant validation, and ironically, that's when respect naturally appears. Because people respect emotional stability more than emotional chaos. A person who controls themselves can handle pressure. A person who controls themselves can survive rejection. A person who controls themselves can stay focused while others collapse, and in today's world, that is a superpower. Look. around. Most people cannot even sit quietly for 10 minutes without distraction. Most people cannot handle criticism without becoming emotional. Most people cannot stay disciplined long enough to change their own life. So if you learn to master your mind, you automatically separate yourself from the majority. You become dangerous in the best possible way, not dangerous because you hurt people. Dangerous because you cannot be controlled by fear, temptation, or emotions anymore, and this is why mastering your mind is one of the greatest skills you will ever develop, because every battle in life begins there, your confidence begins there, your discipline begins there, your peace begins there, even your future begins there. And maybe that's why Marcus Aurelius kept reminding himself that the strongest person is not the one who conquers others, but the one who conquers himself, because anyone can react, anyone can complain. Anyone can lose control, but remaining calm, focused, and disciplined in a chaotic world, that is rare, that is power. So from this moment, start watching your mind carefully, not other people, yourself. Notice what weakens you, notice what steals your focus, notice what controls your emotions, and then slowly begin taking your power back. Point 1, disciplined decision at a time. Point 1, focused hour at a time. Point 1, controlled reaction at a time. Because the version of you that you dream about already exists, but it only appears when your mind becomes stronger than your excuses. And if this video opened your eyes even a little, then make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we don't just talk about psychology, we build mental strength, that we build discipline, that we build control. And if you truly want to become stronger than the person you were yesterday, then this is only the beginning.